Hi guys, it's your bougie friend Anyah M, and welcome to another episode of Anyah Uncensored. So first of all, I want to apologize for the way my voice sounds. I'm a bit under the weather. Your girl's been sick. I've been sick for a while now, and there's some other stuff that have been happening, which I'm gonna update you guys on a little bit later. But honestly, it feels great to be back. Like, it's been a while since I recorded. Wow, there's a hair. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I recorded a podcast episode, and I feel like it's been like me just picking up my mic right now and recording is so liberating. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, it's so liberating. So, first off, you're gonna see that we're not in our usual space. I'm not behind our regular white setup. So that's really a part of the life update. But before we even get into the life update, our body drink for this week is some pineapple juice. So as you know, we have to take our sip together or whatever. So, life update. The last I posted a video, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, and then I had posted a video before that, and that video was very personal. And I was telling you guys that, I have just not been feeling myself, and I have not been feeling so great. For the past couple weeks now, I've been on vacation. And honestly, I think it was... No, what is wrong with these flies? I don't understand. Anyways, they're not trying to make me be great. But yeah. So, yeah, like I was saying, for the past couple weeks, I've been on vacation. I really needed an environmental break. Mainly because when I'm in my usual space, I'm always very active and I'm always doing something. If I'm not on the road, I'm at home doing something. And I feel like I just needed some time to like step back and unwind and to really recoup my thoughts and find myself again. Because I think over the years, I have lost my... Well, I wouldn't want to say I've lost myself, but I feel like I have not been taking care of myself the way how I should. So I feel like it was affecting my daily life and everything that I do. So I just think I needed a break to like recoup, regain my thoughts. Like, this was actually like this vacation, I would say, was really I don't want to say eye opener, but I've had some time now to reflect on myself and reflect on the person that I've become, like the person I have evolved into over the years. Like, I was able to finally sit and evaluate my life and evaluate myself and think about the stuff that I need to improve on in my daily life and to improve in my surroundings, stuff like that. I think I was just able to do that, and I definitely needed that. So for the next couple of weeks, you probably might see me in this same setup again. So yeah. Also, in that video, I was saying to you guys that, I want to find a way to like, regain my old joy and happiness, I guess you'd say. So I've been really into journaling, and I have been trying to get into I hope you guys can't hear that weed whacker. I genuinely hope you guys can't hear it. I genuinely hope you guys can't hear it because I'll be so mad. But yeah, yes, I've been really into journaling. So if that's like, if you need some time to like evaluate yourself, I would very much suggest journaling. It has personally been helping me a lot. So yeah, I think that's something you can look into. I know some people try meditation. I'm not really in tune with myself that much to do meditation, but it's something that you guys can look into. Well, enough of my rambling. So for this week's topic, honestly, I'm going to say I was very intrigued to do it, especially now at this point in time. Like, I'm super intrigued to do it. I even have a part 2 coming out next week, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. It's with me and Jabari, so we're going to be doing a part 2 to this episode, so you guys really don't want to miss it. But what really inspired me to do this topic is the Roommates podcast. They're a group of guys, well, 2 guys, who talk about, life and I guess you'd say how men traverse through life, because they're men, so they're obviously going to talk from a male's perspective, and I'm a girl, so I'm obviously going to talk from a girl's perspective. So this week we're going to be talking about preference versus discrimination, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff going on in the media, and as the video progresses, you guys will hear my thoughts on like those public smash or passes. Like, we'll soon get into that though. When I was doing my little research for this topic, I was trying to think about what exactly is the difference between having a preference and discriminating against another person. And when I was doing my research, I found that some people did not think there was a difference. They genuinely did not think there was a difference. And I think that's heavily based on the fact that people pass off their discriminatory ways as being a preference. I hope discriminatory ways make a sense. It makes sense, right? So in my eyes, I would say there definitely is a difference. To discriminate against someone means that you're singling them out in a negative way, while a preference is like there's a specific trait or attribute in a person that you prefer over another individual. So rough example, right? Let's say a guy, he likes tall girls, right? But then let's say a short girl comes along, and like I said, his preference are tall girls, but for you to make a short girl feel less than, I think it's a pretty dumb example. Like, I don't think this is like the best example to use, but this is what I can think about right now at the top of my head. So it's like you making that short girl feel inadequate for not being tall. I think that's being discriminatory. And that's what I keep saying about people's preference being passed off as discrimination. You can state your preference, like everyone has their own preference, but when the moment when you feel like you can put down another person or make another person feel inadequate in a negative way because they're not that specific trait that you want, I think that's absolutely disgusting. And that's one of my main problems with these smash or pass, like the public smash or pass videos. I don't know how many of you guys saw that popular thing going around with that YouTuber named Neek. And she did a public smash or pass where she had some girls lined up, and some guys are walking past and they were saying smash pass, and then there's one dark-skinned girl, and it was like everyone just kept passing her, and one guy literally said, you're too dark, no, I would never date you, pass. Like, you see those little comments like that, those are things that I think are completely unnecessary. I think when you make another person feel inadequate for little things like that, I think it's very much, it makes no sense. Like, if it's a case where it's a specific, like, let's say it's a, what's a trait that people have that nobody likes? Let's say the person's a narcissist, right? Naturally, no one wants to be with a narcissist. Well, regular people don't want to be with a narcissist, right? So for you to say, okay, well, you're a narcissist, so I don't want to date you, I think that's a complete difference there's a complete there's a thin there's a thick line right there for you to say, okay, well, you're a narcissist or you exhibit narcissistic behavior, so I don't want to date you. Like, I think that's valid. Like, I definitely think it's a valid point. Or someone who's putting me down, someone who is emotionally abusive, physical abusive. Like, that's not you being discriminatory now, because it's a serious thing that people should not have to endure. You should not have to endure an abusive relationship. So that's not you being discriminatory. But when it comes on to like skin tone, height, weight, like, to me, those are stuff that not really adding up. Like, those stuff to me don't really add up. And as in, I understand that everyone has their preference, because I personally have my preference. Let's say I like dark-skinned men. Like, I love dark-skinned men. But if a light-skinned guy comes up to me, I'm never going to say, yo, well, you're light-skinned, so I don't want to talk to you. Because we have to also understand that there's so many other things to think about and to worry about when it comes on to dating people. Personality matters. Yes, of course, looks matter. The first thing you see on a person is their face. And if you cannot manage to be with that person, you get me, like, that's also understandable. But the moment, like I said, when you decide to make that person feel, okay, well, I'm not good enough for you, so bye. Like, that will never sit well with me, because like I said, there's so many other things to think about, like personality. Yes, the person might not be 6 feet tall like you like them. By the end of the day, that person's a great personality, and that person shows you that, hey, I'm down for you and I genuinely care about you. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to think about. I'm going to think about the fact that, yo, this person and I have such great chemistry together, and yes, they're not exactly my main type, but what's wrong? Like, I don't know if it's just me and the way how I look at life, because those things don't bother me. Like, I tend to realize as I've grown up, those things don't bother me. And honestly, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint a reason as to why those things don't bother me. I think it becomes a case where over the years, you just kind of evolve and figure stuff out. And as a 20-something-year-old, you know, yeah, don't tell us our age. But as a 20-something-year-old, I think we have so much more to learn when it comes on to dating. And I constantly say this over and over and over again, that I think that we don't exactly have a dating scene in Jamaica. So it's like, you date a specific type and then that's it. Like, that's where the buck stops. There's no expanding your horizons, getting to know new people, getting to know all sorts of people. Like, I just don't think we do that a lot. I don't know if it's just me and if it's like based off of my little group that I have, because I've had this discussion with a friend before. I've literally called out friends for saying that, yo, you realize that you only have a specific type, and I have no shame in saying it. Like, I genuinely have no shame, no filter. Anyone that knows me personally knows I have no shame and no filter. So I'll say what the hell comes to my mind. It can be a bad thing and a good thing, but you know, yeah. And I remember talking to a friend one day and I was saying to them, you only date a specific type of girl. Like, you genuinely only talk to a specific type. Every time you tell me you're talking to someone, is that they're like the blueprint for the next one, like are the same blueprint over and over again. And I'm saying sometimes I tend to find this dating outside of your type sometimes will probably be the best thing that happened to you, you know. Like, honestly, it will be the best thing that happened to you. And it's like, when you're dating someone, and you'd be surprised how much that person can influence you. Stick a pin. We're so off topic right now. But I think when you're dating, like, interactions with other people, like dating people, friendship, stuff like that, make you realize a lot of stuff about yourself. And I'm going to do a podcast episode on that very, very soon, because I had a conversation with someone probably like 2-3 months ago, and they called me out for some some dumb stuff I was doing. And I had to like when we had the conversation in the moment, I wasn't thinking about it. I thought this person was just overreacting. But it's like our daily interactions with our friends, with our partners, with our family make us realize stuff about ourselves that we probably didn't even realize. Or if it's a case where someone doesn't point it out to you, you think that this behavior is normal. But like I said, off topic, episode coming on that very, very soon. Back to the topic at hand. We were so off topic. But and you know an interesting point that was raised in this podcast episode. They were saying that when men state their preference, it's seen as being discriminatory, but a woman is allowed to state her preference and no one cares. Everyone just say, oh, that's her preference. And I have to agree in a way, but I also have double standards for women. You know, we love our double standards for women. So I think a man, when a man says, okay, well, I don't date bigger girls, right? It's seen as, oh, he's fat shaming. And then when a girl says, I don't date bigger guys, it's like, oh yeah, that's her preference. And I ain't gonna lie, it's the truth. Like, it's actually the truth. Like, and I think the reason for this, hear me out. This is gonna be very controversial, but hear me out, right? Our society is just reaching to that stage where women are not so marginalized, right? And I'm not going to say we're in, like, there's still some parts of the world that women really don't have no rights. Women are dictated to, told what to do, how to dress, what to, like, these daily stuff, right? And we're now in a society where women, it's like say everybody want to make noise when I'm recording. I don't understand. I think is it gone? Yes, it's gone. Right? Women are now in a place in society where we have female CEOs. Women are not just confined now to washing, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids. Like, so many other stuff are now going on. Like, women have liberated themselves and are on this whole new wavelength. Like, they're educating themselves. They're becoming, they're actually straying from the norm. You're not just taught now to be perfect for a man. It's like back in the day, because I'm not going to say right now, because when I was growing up, my mother did not program me to be perfect for a man. And I think it has a lot to do with my personality also. But beyond the point, right? So, like, let's say in our parents' days, right? They're taught to, okay, well, you have to learn how to clean, you have to learn how to cook, because you have to do this in order for you to find a man that wants you. You have to do all of this to keep a man. And I think women have realized that no matter what, you can do all those things and you still not keep the man. The man still give you bun. Like, it's a given fact, you know? And it's been happening from Wapik Filler, but I just know they might liberate themselves. So it's like, now that women have this much knowledge that they have right now, they're finally at a stage where they can state, hey, well, this is what I want in a man, this is what I require from a man, and this is what I deserve. And in a way, it mess up for say, but I understand why this is happening. I understand why women a female's preference is not seen as being discriminatory, because all this time they were allowed basically to just conform themselves and be confined to what a man wants. But I don't think a lot of people are ready for that discussion, and you know, yeah, like controversy. So if you're gonna have a problem with that, you can hash it out in my DMs. But you know what? I honestly feel like sometimes why men get called out so much for their discriminatory ways, I think it's the tone. Like, in daily life, like, I don't, like, this is public knowledge, your tone has a lot to do with how people consider your statement, right? Some people, their tone is naturally very aggressive, monotone, nonchalant. That's literally me. And I know for a fact that sometimes my tone comes off in the wrong way and rubs people the wrong way. So if it's a case where when you're going to state like stuff like that, when you're going to be discriminating against another person, like I said, I think it has a lot to do with the wording and the tone that you use, because some men have used their preference to pass misogynistic judgments, and that's the main problem. So I don't know if anybody's ready for that discussion either, but you know, it is what it is. What's kind of funny, I was just thinking about this. If I personally know a guy's preference, I don't want to be his experiment. And when I say this, it's gonna sound away, but if I realize and see the pattern of girls that a guy dates, and then all of a sudden he wants to talk to me, and I know, say, like, you looking at, like, everybody, you can just look at a person and say, yo, that person has a specific type, right? And if I don't fall in that category of a specific type, I'm sorry, but the likelihood of me dating that man is very minute. Like, if I observe that a guy that wants to talk to me only used to date light-skinned girls, it's a red flag for me. Like, it's an instant red flag for me, and the likelihood of me talking to him is very minute. Because I feel like I will not be your experiment. If I can see that you only have a specific type, and all of a sudden you want to date me because, first of all, I'm a dark-skinned girl. And second of all, I'm a dark-skinned girl. Like, if I see that your type is literally like fair-skinned girls, I will never talk to you. Like, the likelihood, like I said, is very minute. Because I will not be an experiment. And I will not... Because I feel like I'm just a phase for you. Like, that's what I personally feel in my head. If I see a guy do that, I feel like he's either going to fetishize me. I'm a fetish, and I am not for the long term. I'm for the short term when he's into this fetish. Tell me if I'm making sense, because I don't really know. So yeah. I have a question I want to ask you guys, and I would honestly love if you guys could answer this in my DMs, because I want to see your reactions and I want to give my honest reactions also. Why do you think you're attracted to the type that you are attracted to? Is it a case where you just see people like and fetishize them? Or is it a case where you've dated people of that type and it made you want to be with that type? Let me know in my DMs. This is the end of Anyah Uncensored. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to follow the podcast page on IG at anyah.uncensored. Don't be afraid to DM me if you have an issue with statements that I've made in this podcast episode. Come into my DMs and hash it out. Like, y'all like controversy. Don't. So stay tuned for part 2 of this episode with Jabari, and like I said, you guys don't want to miss it. Oh, this week's song of the episode, damn, I've been so used to having people on that I have not had to do a song of the episode in a hot minute. Damn, what song have I been vibing to a lot? Skeng, Street Cred. So this week's song of the episode is Skeng, Street Cred. Until next time, bye guys.